Welcome to my Sourdough Bagel mini course. In this course, I will teach you how to make sourdough bagels from start to finish, breaking up the process into 3 detailed videos. In part 1, we will go over the ingredients, mixing the dough and bulk fermentation. In part 2, we will divide the dough, shape the bagels, and let them prove. In part 3, we will go over boiling the bagels, adding toppings and baking them. This recipe will make 12 bagels. Let's get started. In this video, we will go over the ingredients, mixing the dough and bulk fermentation. To start, measure out 200 grams of recently fed, active, and bubbly starter into the bowl of a stand mixer, or a mixing bowl if you will be mixing the dough by hand. Then add 40 grams of honey, or barley malt syrup, which is more traditional for bagels, and 450 grams of water. Give it a little stir with a fork. Then add 675 grams of bread flour, (75 grams of rye flour, and 16 grams of kosher salt. You can also use whole wheat flour in place of rye, or leave it out altogether and replace it with more bread flour. I like to mix this dough in a stand mixer with a dough hook because the dough is quite stiff, but it can be done by hand as well. Mix it on the lowest setting for about 5 to 8 minutes. If you're doing this by hand, knead the dough on a lightly floured surface until it comes together into a soft, smooth ball. If your dough tries to escape, stop the mixer and push it back down. The dough will be soft and tacky. After the dough is done mixing, turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. Please note that when I filmed this, I made enough dough for 18 bagels, so the amount of dough shown in the videos will look like more than the amount you'll have when making this recipe. Then shape it into a smooth, round ball. We're going to let this bulk ferment until it doubles in volume, which will take about 8 hours at room temperature. Bulk fermentation could be faster in warm climates or slower in cold climates. If you're making the dough in the evening, you can put it in the fridge overnight to slow the fermentation, and take it out in the morning to finish bulk fermenting so that it does not overprove. Transfer the dough to a clean bowl and cover tightly with wrap to keep it from drying out. I'm using a beeswax wrap, but plastic wrap or a plastic shower cap will work as well. Since the dough is tacky, you can also lightly oil the bowl and underside of the wrap. In the next video, I'll show you how to shape the bagels. In this video, we will shape our dough into bagels and let them prove. The dough has finished bulk fermenting and has doubled in volume. Turn the dough out onto the work surface. Weigh the dough, then divide the total weight by 12 to get the weight each bagel should be. Lightly dust the dough, work surface, and your hands with flour if the dough feels too sticky. Divide the dough into 12 equal portions. You can also divide the dough by eye rather than weighing each portion out, if you'd rather. Lightly dust your hands with flour and start shaping each portion of dough into balls. Use the same techniques you would use to shape a round loaf of bread. Pinch the dough into the center, then turn it seam side down and roll the dough in your palm against the work surface to help form your dough into a ball. Tuck and nudge it into a tight round. By the time you're done shaping the last ball of dough, the first one you did should be rested enough to shape into a bagel. Keep note of the order and transfer the balls of dough to 2 parchment paper-lined baking sheets. Cover the sheet you're not working on with a kitchen towel to keep the dough from drying out. Dust the balls of dough and your hands with flour before you start shaping them. Start with the first ball you formed. To form each ball into a bagel, poke your thumb through the center of the ball and use your fingers to stretch the opening. Then barrel roll both sets of fingers to stretch out the dough. Stretch the opening out pretty far because it will shrink back when you place it back down on the baking sheet. Cover the bagels with a kitchen towel and let them prove for about 1 hour at room temperature, or until they look and feel puffy and the dough slowly bounces back after it's pressed. In the next video, we will boil, then bake the bagels. In this video, we will go over boiling the bagels, adding toppings, and baking them. First, preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 degrees Celsius. Bring a pot of water to boil, about 3 quarts or so. This is a 4-quart saucepan. If you're using a larger pot, add more water. Once the water is boiling, stir in a spoonful of honey. The amount does not have to be exact here. Again, if using more water, add a bit more honey. Set up your station with a plate, folded paper towel or cloth towel, and a kitchen spider, aka skimmer. Get your toppings ready. We love poppy seed the best, so that's all I'm going to use here. I like to add the toppings to a shallow bowl, but it is not necessary. Add 2 bagels to the boiling water topside down. They should float right away. If they sink, that means they need to prove a little bit longer. Boil them for about 30 to 45 seconds. Then flip them in the water with the kitchen spider and boil them for another 30 to 45 seconds. Then scoop them out of the water with the kitchen spider and dab them on the folded towel for a quick drain. If you like a lot of toppings, then you can dump the bagel topside down right into the bowl of toppings. This is what I usually do, but a note of caution here. The bagel is piping hot, so if you don't have chef fingers, then you may prefer to transfer the hot bagels right to the baking sheet and sprinkle the toppings on instead. Keep going with batches of 2 bagels at a time. Once the first tray is full, we can start baking them, while we continue on with boiling the second tray of bagels. This is a cheap and handy trick to hold in steam. Cover the tray with an inverted, deep-sided, disposable foil roasting pan. This step is not necessary, but creates a better crust, in my opinion. Bake the first batch with the roasting pan cover for 5 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 degrees Celsius. Then continue on with boiling the second tray of bagels in the same manner as before. After 5 minutes of baking, remove the roasting pan and lower the temperature to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. Put the timer on for 20 minutes and keep boiling the second batch. When the second batch of bagels is ready to bake, transfer the first batch to a lower rack and turn the tray to promote even baking. Place the second tray on the middle rack and cover it with the roasting pan. Give these 5 minutes with the roasting pan on. Make a note of the timer and do some calculations for bake time in your head, or you may want to start a second timer for this batch. After 5 minutes, remove the roasting pan and give the first tray another turn while you have the oven open. When the timer goes off for the first batch, remove them from the oven and give the second batch a turn to promote even baking. Then close the oven and let the second batch finish baking. Each batch should take a total of 25 minutes, 5 with the roasting pan on and 20 with it off. That said, all ovens are a little different, so look for a nice dark golden crust to know when they are ready. They will also sound hollow when tapped. Let them cool for a bit before cutting into them, so the crumb does not become gummy. They can still be warm when you cut into them, though. The crumb should be soft and have small air pockets, and the crust will be chewy. Thanks for joining my sourdough bagel mini course. Explore the rest of the course for a printable recipe, FAQ section, and more resources. Stay tuned for more mini courses in the future featuring our favorite sourdough recipes.